What is up, everyone? Welcome to the live with Shane here at Super JDM Diecast. Welcome back to the podcast, Shane. How you doing, man?
What is up, brother? How are you, man?
Life's good, man. Just got through Christmas, no drama. We had some snow, and in Seattle, I don't know if you saw that, but it was iced over. If you're on Instagram or any one of those places, you'll see some pretty funny videos of cars just like doot, 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 and people sliding down hills and stuff like they're on their butt like sliding down hills. Like it was brutal. Yeah, so we made it through, the snownado or whatever, but it's pretty chill compared to other states. So I'm sure you
Yeah.
didn't experience any snow where you're
Yeah, it was
at.
pretty rough down here. We were battling with that 72 degrees and sunny, and you know how it rolls down
Yeah,
here in SoCal.
yeah, that's pretty rough. So yeah, let's welcome some people in here. I'm gonna see who's in here so far. We got 69 Stingray Mark as well, great name, and then we've got David Diecast Life and Death, and then we've got the other Mark in here, Mark Hot Wheels for Life, Dane Self, so Ricky Bobe, Ricky Bobe, the Bobster,
It is you, Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobe. So yeah, it's good to see you back, on YouTube posting stuff again. I typically don't even really notice too much when people kind of take a hiatus because I did the same recently. Everybody knows that. So yeah, it's nice to get back in the swing of things, but when you need to, you know, do other things, you do other things. So I guess my question is, what have you been up to recently?
Yeah. So starting pretty much last summer, I kicked into a master's program for my education degree, and that really just sucked me in. And so I went from hunting once a week to hunting once a month to it just completely stopped there for a while. So it was here and there, and posting just became secondary when you have, you know, 11 assignments due a week and things like that. Life happened. So I just took a step back,
Yeah,
and yeah, that's pretty much been my life. And now I'm teaching history at the eighth grade level, which is an
pretty
adventure in
cool.
itself. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
there's
an adventure.
teenagers, man. Like, middle schoolers. They are they're something else. They really have not discovered themselves whatsoever. So they're like they think they're grown, So I remember having a lot of attitude back at it, back in middle school. It was very very challenging time for kids. Like they're trying to figure it all out and they're really confused. It's
Oh yeah, for sure.
hormones raging, all that all that stuff. So it's
You hit the nail on the head with that one. There's definitely some hormones raging.
yeah, you're like chill, 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 chill. Mostly the boys too,
Yeah, where's the fire hose?
Yeah, hose them down. Yeah, it's crazy. So now that you've kind of caught back up, what are your plans for 2023 with your channel
Well,
and
I
Instagram stuff like that?
I really want to grow the channel, and I'm going to try to branch it out into more than just the huge. I feel like there's plenty of people out there right now that are showing us how many times they're going to Target every week, and
Yeah,
seeing the same castings over and over, getting thumbed through, and everybody. I've really started noticing a trend this year too, and I don't know if it's something you've seen too, but everybody seems to be chasing chases, and
oh
it's
yeah,
it's all about the chase, and it's all about supers, and it's all about can I get the next best thing? And I feel like before you even have a chance to really enjoy what you have, they're kind of moving on to the next thing. So I think I want to make the channel more around that, really just focused on what I want to collect for myself, what I want to put out there, as far as I call it, quality, not quantity, and really just getting a
yeah,
lot of quality pieces. Like I was showing you before we got on, some of the Kato pieces and stuff like that, but kind of focusing that way.
yeah. Me too. Like a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just trying. I'm trying to sell off pretty much, a lot of main lines and and some premiums of basically what I paid for them, and just to get some money back so that I can get more of the rare 510 stuff that's super duper expensive, and some of the Kaido House stuff. So yeah, I've got I've got maybe like 10 Kaido House things, but I've got a lot more. They're coming out with stuff like crazy, so it's really hard to keep up.
Yeah, I got sucked into that Mattel Creations, the Chaser, the Toyota Chaser that just came out,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and I guess I should have paid more attention to it when they were kind of demoing it and showing it. But I don't know if you've seen the footage of it yet. But people have been
Quality
flipping. Yeah, the quality of it's
not
really
there.
low, and like the tires that they used on it, they're like rail thin.
Yeah,
And I think it was you got us, Mattel, on that one.
yeah. It's the quality is not quite there on that one. So hopefully they get some feedback, and I'm never afraid to talk about that kind of stuff because if you own a business, like I do, it's just like if I do a bad job, I want to know about it. So like, what can I do better next time? Not like, no, everything's fine, everything's good. No, oh, thank you so much. My car looks so great, but you swirled the whole side of it. But it's great. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I wish I could. I honestly wish I could get up there and have you take a run at one of my cars, man. I've seen some of the work you've done, and it's amazing what you're able to do with some of the things that are brought into you, and then what
Appreciate
comes
that.
out of there. It's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And like a lot of people, I've got a lot to learn too. So I'm excited to learn more about, get into more like wet sanding and some heavier polishing and that kind of stuff, so that I can feel okay when something really fancy and rare rolls in. There's certain things that don't scare me at all, but like if 67 Ferrari rolls in, the GTO. It's a $17 million Ferrari. I'd be like, oh, let me do some research on this paint, how thick it is, what were the problems with this paint. A lot of those old Ferraris are single stage, so they're not. I mean, even some of the new ones are single stage. They're really thick, so you don't really have to worry about burning corners and stuff like that. But yeah, it's that Z that I have in there. I don't know if you've seen the citrus green Z.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, so supposedly there Dotson does not know the amount that were made, and I think there were between 500 and 1500 or something like that made. Is a very very low number. So I didn't know it exists when I tell people about it or show people, even Dotson guys. They're like, "What color?" I go, "Citrus green," and then I show them a picture. I'm like, "Yeah, that's." They're like, "Yeah, it's been resprayed." I'm like, no, that's a color, man. They came out with that color, but there's literally no amount. They don't know how many were made. So
That's incredible.
yeah, rare color, but beautiful color, and it's always really rewarding bringing that color back out, shaving the layer of paint off of there, the oxidized paint, and it's quite the process. Let me tell you, I did a live stream for an hour and a half on a few days back, and you can kind of see my process of just going over cross hatching and then going over again and then going over again just to start bringing the color out. So it's like very gradual. It's not just like do do do. Oh yeah, cool, sweet, next panel. So it's patience. It's teaching me patience for sure. But it's fun. It's once you start looking at the photos when you started out with this car and then now where it's at now, where it's blinding. It's very polished now and shiny. It's a lot of fun, and that car is a single. It was my customer's sister-in-law bought it brand new locally, and window they have the window sticker and the markup sticker and the glove box that are in incredible shape, like brand new. And then she passed away, and then her husband, his brother, got it, and he passed away. So he has the car now. So it's a 50,000 mile original local car that's in beautiful condition. The interior's nearly perfect. It's got the armrest has some wear on it, but other than that, there's no cracks in the seats and the dash or anything, which is
Wow.
completely unheard of in a Datsun. Completely
Yeah.
unheard of.
Yeah,
I've
that's
never seen one.
amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a trip, working on that thing, but
I'm still
that's
kicking myself, man, that I didn't jump on that right-hand drive Prelude.
oh the one that detailed a while back that you
Yeah.
sold.
I really was kicking that one back and forth, but I'm saving for the Big Daddy. So I saw
Oh
your
yeah.
R35, man, and that's what I'm after. I don't know what gen I'm gonna get as far as where I'm gonna see the least amount of problems with those R35. So
Second
every
generation. You
that's what
so
I've
if
been hearing.
Yeah, if you want to buy an R35, you're gonna want to get a 2012 plus. So unless you get, I don't know. So here's the thing. It's like you're gonna replace all that stuff anyway. So there's no point in buying like an '09. That's like the first year R35 because you're gonna want to change the bumper out to the newer bumper. It's better looking. It's got the fogs in there and everything. And you're gonna pay a grip of money to do that. And then you're going to want to change out the rear taillights and all that stuff, rear end. It's like, and then you're going to want to change this and that. So eventually, you're just going to spend the same amount of money, if not more, to get it to where the 2012 is. It's got the facelift on the bumpers, and it's got
Yeah,
quite a bit more power. I think it's 80 horsepower or something like that. But it's basically got some fix ups from the first generation ones had really weak bell housings and transmissions, so they would break. You're still not going to get completely away with that with the second generation R35s. They still might blow up on you if they haven't been maintained. You have to change the. So here's another thing: maintenance. On the first generation GTRs, the maintenance is much higher, surprisingly enough. So you have to change transmission fluid every 18,000 miles, and it'll cost you a couple $1,000s to do. So that's
oh,
two
that's fun.
grand. Yeah, 2 grand. I was close to 2 grand just doing it in my own shop. Like, well, I had my buddy do it at Lexus when I worked there, and the labor wasn't even that bad. It was the fluids, very expensive, and it's really hard to do. So you're gonna have to do that every 18,000 miles, and then you're gonna have to do front and rear diffs as well. So altogether, you could be looking up around 2,500, 3 grand to do fluids on the GTR every 18,000 miles. The second generation, the 2012 Plus, is every 32 or 36,000 miles for front and rear diff and transfer case. So a little less painful, if you're not driving it a ton. I've got a built engine in there now, and I've got a built transmission, so I don't have to worry about that for a while. But because it's all brand new, so. But they're very expensive cars. I think a lot of people need to understand when it comes to R35s. Even if you can afford if you can afford a Ferrari too, I could probably go out and buy a F430,
Yeah,
tomorrow. And those are 100 and probably low hundreds for an F430. Much higher for the manuals. I think you can get the paddle shifter ones for like, I don't know, 80, 90, 100, but the manuals are like almost a couple hundred, like 180 or something, almost double the price for the Ferraris. But yeah, you're gonna, if something breaks on that Ferrari, it's gonna cost you like $10,000. You know, and if something breaks on the GTR, if your engine blows up in the GTR, you're gonna be looking at a minimum of like $25,000. You're gonna
yeah,
your used engines are 15, 18,000 in the junkyard for a very questionable engine you don't know nothing about.
yeah.
And I was looking into those because like when my engine blew up on the freeway, I was just when I bought the car back, I don't know, it's been about 6 years now or so. I bought it. It was burning oil from. I bought it from my dealership at Lexus, and because I was already in the process of looking for one nationwide. I was looking everywhere, and I was gonna trade. I was gonna trade in or sell my ISF at the time, and one actually came into the dealership on trade, and the guy was having a kid, and he had to get rid of it. His girlfriend was making him get rid of it, and he was super unhappy about it. Like Neighbor said, he was super mad about it. So that was good for me. I bought it that day, and then it was burning oil for like right out of the box. I bought an extended warranty for it, but it was burning oil, and I knew there was something wrong with that car since the day I bought it. I was just logging how much oil it was burning, and it was just a stupid amount. So eventually, it never got low in oil or anything, super low, but it only takes about, I don't know, maybe 5.5 or 6 quarts. But yeah, one day I was just a couple. I think car's been down it was down for like a year, so it's probably like a year and change ago that it blew up, maybe a year and a half ago, the engine. But I was just cruising on the freeway, just like not doing anything dumb. I was just driving like 60 to 70 miles an hour, and I just heard this, and then just smoke just everywhere, and gosh, I think even some oil came onto the when I take things out, I take things out. But I pulled right off the freeway, and I knew it was coming. It was just one of those things. Like I was just like, I brought it into Nissan, and I told them this thing's burning way too much oil, and they said no, it's within limits. And I'm like, there's no way that this is in a couple thousand miles it's used like 3 quarts. It's just like it's not normal. So they kept telling me it's normal, but in the end, I know they're wrong because it blew up. It's just
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I
blew
had a
up.
similar thing when my STI went. It was literally just, it started with a small, like a clanging sound, and then I got that lovely sound you heard where it just started the bop, 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 and it was super loud. And sure enough, yeah, it threw that rod, and it was, dealing with Subaru. I'm sure dealing with Nissan wasn't as painful. Anybody who's ever dealt with Subaru, um, they're not the most fun car company to deal with when you have a problem. They don't want to honor their warranties, and so that this is a public service announcement for any of you guys watching that are thinking about getting a Subaru. You got to be really careful with Subarus too, because mine was a 2012 STI, and that was, now we know they were known for throwing those rods, and it was a manufacturer's defect. So
Yeah.
so I got my money back for the repair and things like that. But at the end of the day, I was upset. I lost my STI, which was my baby, and I'm sure when you lost your R35, that was probably the same feeling you had. So
Yeah, no, it sucked, man. But you know what? It all comes down to just a car.
yeah,
It's just a car. It's just a thing. And I can't remember what I told you in our last chat whether I had the R32 with the 2J in it, and my buddy in an NSX hit me, and that car got totaled. But it's just a car. Move on. I just moved on to a different car that I loved a lot. I loved the ISF. This is my last sports car I had before the GTR, and I loved that, and I missed that car. The ISF
yeah.
is an awesome car, and Derek on his Diecast still has one, I believe, and he bought one because I told him that's what you need to get. So
Well, I'm missing it, Mark. I've been rolling JDM since pretty much the early '90s. Before I got the Subi, I had a DC5, the RSX, which is what the Integra became,
yeah,
and I had that thing completely tuned, and I loved that car. And my wife got so upset when I paid off car and traded for that Subaru, because I had everything done on that DC5. It was kind of probably what you had with your ISF, not a sports car, of course,
yeah.
but it was my car, and I built it. Everything on it was built up, so I was super super happy with it. And then I went with the trend and had to have the Subaru, and I immediately missed the Acura after it was gone. Now here's another thought too. Um, my backup, if I don't go GTR, and I know some of the purists out there are going to be like, but I'm thinking about possibly getting one of the GR Supras, and that's just because I took one out for a little cruise when I had my Tacoma in to get serviced. And anybody who hasn't driven one, you can't poo poo on it. You have to go drive one to see what it feels like. It's an amazing drive. It's truly got power that you wouldn't think it would have with that engine. And you can say what you want about it being a BMW Toyota, but I
Yeah.
but I noticed the recent Instagram post where it says calling this car a BMW is like calling a Bugatti a Volkswagen, because a lot of people don't realize Volkswagen manufactures the engines for Bugatti. So
Yeah, and
um,
Audi owns Lamborghini now, and
yeah,
yeah, they've owned them for quite some time. So yeah, I can't really, I don't really, I'm really impartial. They've grown on me. I was really one of those people that was that had pitchforks when they came out. Just was like, no, get it, no, it's a BMW, but. There's nothing wrong with BMWs. I don't think you just can't compare the Mark IV to the Mark V. They're just going to be different cars now. I mean, because Toyota had the 2JZ, which is you can't touch that engine, and Yamaha was involved with that engine, and I don't know whether Yamaha's involved at all in that. Basically, I think it's the Z4 engine, and I don't know if it's like the M4 engine. I think it's different than that. But I'll have to drive one. I've got a couple buddies with them, so maybe I should do. I want to start doing probably maybe on my detail channel, if not my random personal channel that I just started posting on again. Do some reviews of my friends' cars. Because I think that's interesting. I have friends with really cool cars that have a lot of like blood and sweat, and beautiful cars that they don't even take to car shows. So yeah, I might start doing some videos like that, to where they're little kind of vlogs about my buddies, friends' cars, and maybe customer cars too. That I've like that Z and some other cars that come in here.
oh yeah. I mean, I don't know if you know the area that I'm from, but I'm in an area that's just north of San Diego, Temecula area, and we're like the mecca for where the Formula Drift guys like to have their secret hideaway houses. So we have a lot of the big guys that live up over here. We get to see them cruising around all the time, and it's you know. I have to start befriending some of these people, because man, just the number of 32s and 33s that I see rolling through here. I see Bugattis. I see Huracans that are tuned and just all over the place.
Twin
Just the
turbo.
oh, just absolutely gorgeous cars, and they're everywhere here. Just getting a chance to talk to some of these dudes would be awesome, and be like, "Hey, I've got your Hot Wheel on my wall."
Yeah,
So
give me a ride in your car.
yeah, I'll give you my
Right
Hot Wheel.
now.
You give me a ride. Let's go.
Give me your car. Give me your keys. Yeah. Hey, you got to ask. If you don't ask, like,
Yeah,
hey,
for
you want to
sure.
give me that car? You don't? Okay, cool. I'll ask tomorrow when I see you again. I'm gonna pass by in traffic. Yeah. So yeah, there's some cool cars up here too, and there's yeah, and on in my area, there's two original Fast and Furious actors that live near me. So
Oh, how sweet
hopefully
is that?
that's pretty cool. Yeah, I just found out one recently. I'm not even gonna say his name because he's pretty low key. He's just in a couple of the movies, and he literally picked a pin on a globe, like on or at least the U.S., and just moved to where the pin fell, and that
Oh,
was where I
nice,
live. So
nice.
yeah, and yeah, hopefully I'll be detailing his car at some point in the next year or two. I don't know, because he's buddies with a friend of mine that sends me all the details. Like, he sends me all this work, and you know, and he does his dents in his cars. He's got a Raptor, so he's got a
Am I
Raptor
going
and
to
some
see
other cars.
you? Am I going to see you on a Modelo commercial soon, where you'll be
Modelo.
like you'll be like the detailer to the stars, and they'll be like, he started as a creator, and then hard work and effort, and all of a sudden, and it's one of those cool Modelo commercials,
The
and you'll
most
be like,
interesting man in the world. No, that's the Dos Equis.
yeah, yeah, no, I love how they find like these guys, like the tattoo guy and the guy who cuts hair, and they just they show their humble roots where they started, and then all of a sudden they're like, I cut hair for all the NBA players, and you'll be like, I detail the cars for every celebrity in around me. That'd be
Yeah, hey,
awesome.
I'm not opposed to it, but Man, there's a, I'll tell people this all day long. I'll take like a 72 Skyline detail over a Bugatti any day. Like, I just want that, like that old, or like an old little Sunny, Datsun Sunny that's like a
Oh,
clean, so yeah, anything, little Datsun Sunny here.
oh yeah.
The exotic cars, I love exotic, don't get me wrong, I love exotic cars. Yeah, I mean, just something like that to be able to, polish the barrels and get that thing all show ready, just to, So yeah, it would be cool. I would definitely fly out to and do mobile stuff for certain people, of course, like fly over there and do a video on detailing their car. And that's what some of the big detailers do. It's a goal of mine. You have ammo, he flies out and details Koenigseggs, a prototype Koenigsegg, or I think he did a while ago, and that'd be the goal. I mean, but if it doesn't happen, whatever. It's just I just want to stay busy and you
Well,
know.
when I see you go live and you're at Vin Diesel's house, and I'll know. I know you've made it.
I think the furthest I might get is the Vin Diesel's stunt double. I'll be at his house doing like his Charger or something. That's gonna be like the extent of how far I make it. Like I'm like the guy that does all the stunt doubles cars. Like, yeah, I did Bruce Willis's stunt doubles car and Tom Cruise's stunt doubles car. Yeah, Paul
That's awesome.
Walker's stunt double because Paul Walker's no longer with us. Rest in peace.
Oh, you had to bring that up.
Sorry, man.
I get a
Sad.
tear in my eye.
It's sad. It's very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that whole have you used a while back? Somebody sent this to me recently, and I was like, not cool. But that the diecast of the Porsche where it's crashed and have you seen that?
Yeah, just bad
It's
taste.
it's bad taste, man. That's like his daughter, his family. There's all these other people. It's like I get the dark sense of humor thing, like people have dark senses of humor, but just think about the collateral damage, like don't I mean yeah, people's families are gonna see something like that. It's just not cool, man.
Yeah, for sure. So
So yeah.
what are you hoping for this year, Mark? What are you hoping to see come out? What are you hoping to see that we're going to get rolling out in the diecast side of the house?
Well, I can tell you that I'm not doing mainline cars anymore. I'm not collecting mainlines at all. It's just it gets too ridiculous. You get thousands of cars. You leave the store with 15, 20, 25, 30 cars possibly if you get crazy. If you see R32s or R33s, and I've been in the past. I've been a little bit of a hoarder when it comes to. I got to get these while I can, because they're gonna like disappear or scalpers are gonna get them, and I'm just gonna give them off to my friends or, you know. I still got R32, the gray R32s. I got the all the 2.5 RS colors, and like I've got like 25 of each. So there's just certain cars I used to just go over the board, overboard with. But I gave a lot of them away to charity this year, like, and I still have a few that I'd like to give to people for like giveaways and stuff like that. People that never found them when they came out. So I'm really looking diecast wise. It's not necessarily even Hot Wheels this year. I think I'm gonna back off from Hot Wheels quite a bit, and just if they've got a cool RLC car coming out or some cool mainlines, mostly Datsuns. I'm just really focusing on, Datsun 510s. Or if they came out with an R35, like RLC or premium, I'd buy it for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm not
Well,
sure about what's coming out when it comes to, Datsuns or Nissans right now.
I did find you one, and I told you if I did, it'll be coming your way. So I'll go ahead and let you get a glimpse of it now, since we're on tonight, so you can see it and you can crack this one open.
Ooh.
But I found you the little chase.
Oh, a Chase.
Yep.
Wow. That's the purple one, but it's not purple? I can't see.
It's
It's got, I think,
like a dark purple.
Hmm.
but not purple. It's a black with a purple base coat. So when you
So
look
it's
at
like
it, it looks
midnight
black,
purple.
but it's midnight purple.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. I love the, David at Twice I Cast. He got me going on the majorettes. In fact, you've got majorettes, I've got majorettes. We've got this, sorry, camera's over here. Got this little, what is that, Senna, I think,
Oh,
and
that one's nice.
then we've got this Vanquish or something here. Is it GT3, GT8? Yeah, Aston Martin Vantage GT8.
Yeah, don't sleep on the majorettes. They are. It's a good brand.
No, they're really good. I mean, but we were talking before we just for a couple minutes before we got on here that the Para 64 is somebody we just interviewed Adrian, the owner over there recently. So you guys will see that on the Diecast breakdown. But that car is whoa, those cars are cool. I mean, the quality, the fit and finish it definitely takes the cake on even majorette. And price point is good for they're not as cheap as majorettes, and I don't see majorettes too often, so we don't have them around here anywhere but Hobby Lobby and maybe Target, maybe, but I've never seen one. So I've seen people pick them up, I think, at Target, but I've never seen a majorette at Target. I just pretty much see them at Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, we get them
So
quite a bit here at, and it's been a lot recently. A lot of majorettes starting to show up at our targets. So what we don't get in the premiums, we get in some of these other brands, and so it. And I've been really taking notice of Matchbox lately too, and some of the
yeah,
stuff that's been coming out from Matchbox has been absolutely. And they're great to open. They're great to have open. They're great to really just display and look at. And I think a lot of people sleep on the Matchbox too because everybody's Hot Wheels crazy,
yeah.
and they're just it's gotta be a Hot Wheel. Ooh, I found something else I thought you would like too, Mark. This you'll appreciate this because this is right up your alley, and it's not even a car.
The wheelie chair. Oh, nice. And Miho, that's
Yeah,
cool, man.
a little hauler that you can throw your random 510
Spare,
in or your
yeah,
spare
spare parts,
GTR, spare parts, whatever you got, and
rods, pistons.
yeah, all of that fun stuff, man. But yeah, for sure.
That's cool, man. Yeah, if let me know if you want to send it my way, or I'll gladly pay you for that.
Yeah, no, this is definitely coming your way. I know I saw that you opened the regular of this one, and
Yes.
so yep. So now you'll have to crack this one too, because that
Yeah.
purple it sneaks up on you because you look at it and you're like, wow, that's a really nice black, and then it hits the light and boom, that midnight purple.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. So I don't know if you know this, but because we were talking R35s just a few minutes ago, there is a midnight purple R35 that they made. I don't know, a couple hundred of, if that. They pulled it off the assembly line and painted it in a different area, and it's a factory number thing. So it looks black, but when you hit the light, hits it's purple. And I have a buddy that has one that owns a big successful detail shop, and we were going on a cruise one day, and I was like, dude, is that purple? Because I saw like the light hit it when he was turning, because we were all doing a cruise, and it. I was like, is that purple? Is that a factory color? He's like, yeah, they pulled it off the assembly line, and I'm like, gosh, I want that. I want that so
Well, maybe
bad.
maybe that's what this is. Maybe it's an homage to that, and the guys at
Probably
Major
is.
Red were able to do that. But yeah, because when you look at it, I mean, straight on, I thought it was black, and then when I got it home and I got it in the light, man, it's just a deep dark purple, and
I
it's
bet you
awesome.
that's what it is. It's not midnight purple because midnight purple is kind of a like a neochrome kind of a thing. You can see some blue and and green and stuff in it, which I love. But they did it different with this one. It's just basically a really really dark like plum, like just a really almost black, but it has like a purple to it. So it's cool. I mean, I'd love to have one for sure.
Cool,
So
cool.
yeah. So what are your plans when it comes to collecting this year? Are you gonna focus on anything new? Para 64.
Yeah, Para
There's all kinds.
64. Tomiko also is another one that I really
Yeah.
started to see some good stuff come out of. And then when I when I got my first Tomiko, we have a place down here. It's a reseller's haven, but it's really famous. It's called Frankenson, and it's a big reseller area. But there's a guy there that he specializes in nothing but the really small brands, the Tomikos, the Kaido House, Para 64. I know that he's got some of that there as well. And it's amazing too that you say Para 64 because he actually won the Lamley overall, the top 64 last year. His was
Yeah, he did.
selected. So
Yeah.
there's no sleeping on him anymore. He's about to really blow up as far as and he's got another entrance in there, I think, this year. So we'll
Yeah,
see
we,
how it
we
goes.
chatted with him about that. I don't want to give any spoilers away from our interview, but we chatted with him about that, and yeah, he was pretty stoked on that. On that's a big achievement. He was flabbergasted, to say the least. So it was kind of left field. He didn't see that coming, but you can tell the amount. When we interviewed Glenn Chow of Mini GT. He's the same kind of way with how he goes overboard with details, and he's got the same mentality as Glenn, to where they're factoring in all little types of things like lights and wheels, and some people ask why isn't there any tread, because, well, you couldn't do any justice because it wouldn't be right, it wouldn't be correct, so the tread would have to be less than a millimeter wide,
Yeah,
to make any sense. And then it cuts into the budget of making the car. So do you want it to like lose its headlights? So it's like, if you want to be able to buy a car for $20 as opposed to $80, then you're gonna have to, deal with no tire tread, which is fine, because I don't care about tire tread.
I'm not going to complain because these babies right here, they don't need tire tread. This is to me is about as perfect as they come. So
Yeah.
these Mini GT Kaido House mashups, man, they are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, they are great. As Young says, why Majorette diecast show less viewer in YouTube rather than Hot Wheels? I think it's just, I don't know. There's a Hot Wheels craze. Hot Wheels has way more. They've got hundreds of main lines that come out every year, different models, and they're easily found here in the U.S. We don't have a lot of majorettes, so I haven't really got into like looking at a lot of like multicultural channels if I can't really understand what they're saying. But I think it's really big in Europe. Diecast dude is all about majorettes, and he's always posting stuff. I think he just did a video on a bunch of majorettes, and I think they're awesome. But I can't find that many of them, and I do like finding them. I don't like just ordering them online, but I have no problem with doing that either, because you have to do that with like Kaido House. You have to order them online. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think you asked me the question, where am I going to trend this year? And I think that's exactly where I'm going to trend this year. Is I'm going to start giving a lot more love to these guys that are really putting their best foot forward with what they're building, with things that are look, it's quality over quantity. So when
Yeah.
you start to really find these guys like Mini GT, Kaido House, Para 64, Tomiko, they're putting the details in that Hot Wheels can't do. Hot Wheels are trying to keep their cars down to $1, which it's not possible for them to even do anymore. So
Nope.
and I mean, so I pulled one. That's what I was reaching up there for. So this is an example, not a great example, but a pretty good example. So this is an example, right, of what you'd get as a Hot Wheel premium, right?
Yeah. S sport.
And you're gonna get your rubber wheels. You're gonna get your rear riders, but you're missing a lot of the detail that you would see in something like this, right? Where you're
Yeah.
getting every single bit of detail on here. You're getting the lensed headlights, of course.
Oh yeah.
Just every bit of detail, top and bottom, just perfect. The stance on their cars, and I think that's where Hot Wheels, they can't hit that price point, and companies like Majorette, they, you know, like you said, they're hard for us to find here without going online and getting lucky like I have recently. But I
Yeah.
definitely want to start promoting those a little bit more on my channel and start showing a little more of those brands because I think everyone's kind of Hot Wheelsed out.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting there. It's I think a lot of people, I think myself, frustration wise, comes with like RLC, um, and just it's just it's terrible trying to get something on there, and most of the time, 90% of the time, I don't, and I have to rely on a friend of mine to be able to get it. You know, Chuck's a savage when it comes to getting like 2 or 3 cars. I don't know how he does it, but I don't know if it's his internet connection or what. But I would wait at one in my previous job. I'd get really busy and I would like try to get in there and be ready, and I would still just lose miserably. I just like it. It let me put it in the cart. It let me hit purchase, and it starts thinking, and it's just like sold out. And I think that's just a major, disservice to your customers to make them so bummed out like that, to have money in hand going like, hey, I would like to buy one of these cars, and you say, no, sorry, I let a bot win it, that bought 100 of them and is selling them instantly on eBay, for 3 times what they should be. So they need to figure that out. I mean, I think they're working on it possibly, but it's not that hard. It just needs to be. If you're paying for a yearly fee, they should send you, give you an opportunity to get each car that comes out. You should be able to buy one of each car that comes out and
Yep, I
not have
agree.
to trip over each other like, Black Friday at Walmart where people are getting trampled to death.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I this last year at Comic Con, I went to the Hot Wheels panel, and they had some of the execs there and some of the design team, and I grilled them pretty hard, and
good.
I thought I thought I was gonna get issued out of the little theater
Yeah.
that we were in because I asked them about that, and I asked them about distribution, and I said, why is it that I live literally 45 minutes from your headquarters in El Segundo, and it takes me 11 days to get an RLC when people are getting them in New York City 3 days after purchase. I said, I don't get that. I said, I could drive to El Segundo and pick it up from you guys if you want. But I also asked them too about, why is there such a short, production run on their RLCs when this is what they're really trying to push as, hey, this is our design
Flagship.
studio,
Yeah.
and they kept trying to deflect and saying, we're working on it. And I feel bad because the designers are just designing. They don't
Right.
have any say in that. And so um,
Yeah.
I got to talk to a couple of them while we were standing outside the panel, and they're like, look, some of us can't even get access to the RLCs. Like we can't even buy them.
Oh
So
yeah. I mean, that's what's frustrating. I'm sure they're very frustrated because when we talked to Brendan Viteski, he couldn't even get his own cars. He's had like 4 or 5 or something like that made, and he'd have to find them in the store. His premium, his gasser, and that he just sold.
yeah,
And that's like, are you serious? Like, I mean, some people get cars sent to them, but that's kind of the difference because we've talked to Hot Wheels designers, and then we've talked to like Chad over at Round Two, which I talked to Chad daily, and they're out there making cars or their friends or like kind of it's just more grassroots. They're taking care of people like really good. I mean, it's just a different feeling. You
well, yeah,
feel.
and I mean, and they're willing to. I mean, you can have a small business or even a small, and they're like, hey, we'll do round two. Well, they'll do a exclusive. There could be a Dotson Man diecast exclusive round two would make, and they're willing to do that because I think they have the
Hmm.
pulse. They have the pulse of the collectors, and they know, hey, this is kind of what people want to see and how they want it done, and so they're. I like that company. I like what they're doing over there, and so and it's getting harder and harder to find their product too. Now that I know that you can purchase from them online, though, it's a lot easier. They have their nice little catalog, and it's a lot easier to find some of their product because I don't have to have the chases and I don't have to have, you know, the ultra rare stuff. I
Yeah.
like some of their base stuff, and it's great.
Yeah, it's just it's cool to. I'm getting more into some of those other brands because of what you said. They're just more in touch with their customer base, and they're smaller, and they do. They're listening to the customers, which I feel like, in all honesty, Hot Wheels has kind of stopped doing. They don't really listen to the people that are buying their stuff. I mean, it's not. It's a. I mean, I would say I don't know what the statistics are. I forget what they are, but it's the number is huge. The number is huge. The adult collectors are keeping them in business, essentially.
Yeah.
They are paying the bills. I mean, I would say that the number is very high percentage wise of who's buying Hot Wheels and who's buying, especially premiums. Not a lot of kids are buying premiums. No kids are really buying RLCs. It's there are some, I'm sure, young collectors that they're buying that kind of stuff and help with their parents, of course. But yeah, it's kind of sad to see. I hope that they can kind of change their ways. I don't like to hear like, "Hey, we're working on it," because they've been working on it a long time, but I don't see any change. I don't see any change. So
Well,
yeah.
coming from I mean, I've collected before I collected Hot Wheels, and I still collect. I was am still part of the GI Joe community. So
Mm,
no, not the dolls. Everybody goes the dolls. No, not the dolls. I started in the '80s with the smaller action figures, and
yeah.
Hasbro went down that road too, and there was a lot of people fired at that company because they started to rest on their laurels and really start to lose focus of the collectors. Yeah, there you go, Ice Cream Soldier.
I just happened to like have gotten these from my parents recently.
Yeah, no, those he was a mail order, so
Yeah.
he was a tough guy to get. Yep, Cobra Commander.
Yeah, I got a handful of them, and I'm really glad that I do. And like, you've got the little cannon that shoots the
Oh yeah,
thing. You've got another um, Cobra guy. I don't know all the names. I'm sure you do.
I do. Embarrassingly, I do.
I mean, I remember talking to you about GI Joes last time, but I definitely didn't have any of these handy. We have this guy here.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
that's uh, that's the line that the collectors choose to forget. So that 93,
It's pretty
94,
cheap looking. It's pretty cheap
yeah.
looking, that one.
Well,
Uh,
that's when they they had made their second multi-billion-dollar profit off of GI Joe, and they just kind of cashed it in, and were just kind of throwing anything out, and they lost the brand for a while, and now
oh yeah.
they're kind of back and doing it better. They've switched scales, which I think has kind of put them back. But I tie that into Mattel because Mattel is they've had Hot Wheels as their Hot Wheels and Barbie. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, these things are mint too, man.
Oh man,
And
look
then
at
you
you
just
breaking them out.
yeah, I just got this random Darth Vader. I'm like, oh okay. But yeah, there's this big old cannon here. Just like who wouldn't love these as kids, man? This is like
Oh yeah.
this is it. Just got these cannons, man. Why are these guns so big?
Well, so now
Look at this, the size of this compared to the guy. Like this, it's the size of the guy. How does he hold this gun up? What?
So this is what we get now, Mark, and these are the 6 inch, and they're super articulated, right?
Oh
And
sure.
so you're talking 55,000 points of articulation, and they don't have the rubber bands anymore, and
Oh, no
that's the
rubber
route
bands.
that they go. Yeah, but I mean, like their accessories and everything are super. Man, now we're gonna go down a GI Joe rabbit hole, but yeah, but I just tying that in. Mattel has really
Yeah.
just counted on those two major brands, Barbie and Hot Wheels, and I think it's just like what, we're just going to keep churning things out and churning things out and churning things out. And you hit the nail on the head. Adult collectors are keeping them in business as far as the Hot Wheels side of the house because very few kids really are seeking Hot Wheels out anymore when they go to the stores. It's a passing fancy, and my kids
Yeah.
collect them. but I don't know how much of that is because I push them on them, and
You're
how
like,
much of it
you're gonna
is,
buy this.
yeah, you need all of those. You need those Zamax right there. But yeah, that's I kind of think that's what Mattel is headed for. Is they're going to get a rude awakening at some point where these smaller companies are going to start outproducing them and start making the quality, and they're going to see their sales figures really drop.
Yeah, it's kind of to compare it to like car manufacturers. You had like GM and Ford, like especially Ford. They were at a long period of time they were making cars people didn't want. They were making cars that people didn't like the way this cup holder was, and like they just didn't like the look of the car, the fit of the car, and they're like, take it or leave it. And it's just like that's kind of where I feel like the mentality is kind of coming with Hot Wheels a little bit right now. It's just like this is it, take it or leave it. You want it or not. But with when working for like Lexus, and I've worked for like Hyundai and some other like Japanese brands. Hyundai's not Japanese, but with Lexus, they whenever you write like they take the input for the cup holder or the infotainment system or the seats, how comfortable they are, and then they put it into action and they give the customer what they want. The following year or 2 years from like whenever, as soon as they can. So I think Hot Wheels and Mattel need to do a better job at listening to the collectors, the true collectors, not the scalpers. Who cares? Who cares what the scalpers think? Scalpers they're going to be scalpers. They can do what they want to do, but and whatever. I mean, I'm not going to get too deep into that. Even though I did hear some cool news. I posted David at Twice Diecast shared with me at I think it was a Reddit post, but I think Walmart's trying to crack down on scalpers with their upper management. They're basically saying they want to terminate anybody that's going through cases. And that's not just Hot Wheels. That's
Lego.
Lego, Pokemon cards, and Funko Pops, which are local to me. Those are about 30, 35 minutes away. The warehouse it's local, and you can make your own little face. You can make your own Funko Pop. I need to do that. I need to make a Dotson Man
That would be
diecast.
awesome.
Yeah, so you can go in and it scans your face or something, and then you can only do it in the store. So you have to like make a trip to Everett, Washington, to do that. So if you guys are huge Funko Pop fans, you can fly into Everett too. There's a new incredible airport in Everett of all places, because Everett's kind of dumpy. It's kind of like a little I don't know. It's kind of like Tacoma. It's kind of crime. Nothing's as bad as Tacoma or Seattle right now, but it's pretty bad. But if you guys want to fly in there and do that, hit me up, and we'll either go hunting or go together, get our Funko Pops made, because I haven't done it yet.
Oh yeah, I see that. I see that comment right there. I do think the Hot Wheels team has stopped listening, but the Matchbox team, they were also at Comic Con, and totally different vibe from them. And I know they're under the same company, but they're almost.
I guarantee you they're run
different.
different though. Yeah, there's different. I think they've been like that for a long time, because I've really started to get my eyeballs on the moving parts Matchbox.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Yeah, they're really cool, and they're not very expensive, and people aren't really after them. So it's like, I mean, people like them, but people aren't like, tackling each other in the aisles for them like they are with Super Treasure Hunts, or chase cars, because now Hot Wheels is doing chases as well. So they're doing, out of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's that sixth one that's a different color or whatever, different wheels or something on it. So
yeah,
if Super Treasure Hunts weren't ruining it enough from the scalpers, then you throw a chase in there too, so they can resell it. So yeah, it's frustrating, but who cares? I haven't. It doesn't bother me anymore. I went to Walmart and did a hunt video recently, just a few days ago, and I didn't look through all the cars. I didn't have time, but I just I don't have that kind of time anymore. It's pretty rare that you could sit there and go through a whole bin just to find that one Super Treasure Hunt that may be in there.
yeah.
Those
No,
days are Those days have come and gone.
I got lucky the other day too. I was out. We had to get a couple of things for Christmas dinner. I was out Christmas Eve, literally just hitting some grocery stores, and boom, Super Chase at one grocery store and Super Treasure Hunt at the next grocery store. And I never look for Hot Wheels in grocery stores. So I think I'm gonna start looking for Hot Wheels in grocery stores and stay away from Targets and WalMarts. I don't know, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's Walmart's are the one that we have in town is a bad Walmart. It's just it's really small. It's really there's some sketchy people in there, but that's nothing new. I mean, we the Walmart.
That's
It's a
Walmart
love hate.
nationwide.
Oh yeah, you see some crazy things at Walmart, so it's a love hate relationship, but mostly hate. So yeah, what's up, Static? How you doing? So yeah, it's this year. I'll try to do. I don't know. I'll try to do a hunt video every like at least once a month or every couple of weeks, whenever I can. And it's not going to be long, but we all know that people just want to see what other people have in different states. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. Of course, people like to see the super treasure hunts too. They just want to like they've never found one. They want to see what it feels like, or they want to see like they want that hope that they can find it. It's like it's pretty rare. I haven't found very many.
Yeah, I mean, I in the wild, uh, I'm looking at. I have to look on my wall because that's where they're at to see how many I've found. And this is in 4 years. I have found six, six in
Six
the
total.
wild.
That's probably about
Six
how many
total.
I've found or so.
Yeah, and two just recently. So I was at four until December 24th of this year. So that's how hard they are to find, and especially I don't know what it's like up there in Washington for you, Mark, but it's definitely down here in Southern California. It is we are packed with collectors and packed with hunters, and it's um, competitive. So if
Yeah,
you're a collector here,
it's pretty competitive here, but not like where you're at or where Derek's at. Or man, when I went to Montana, there's no collectors out there. So the Hot Wheels line or the line of what's his name?
oh yeah,
Line of yeah the line of Hot Wheels are well, I don't know. I can't pronounce people's channels. I'm dyslexic or something. But he's always finding stuff, and I was like, man, you got it good over here. Because when we were over there, when I proposed to Kimber over there, man, almost a year ago, or more than a year ago, probably a year and a half ago, because we've been married almost a year, coming up soon here, and it was heaven over there. So I was finding all kinds of stuff. I was finding the R34 premiums, the blue ones, and when they were out, and you would never find those around here
oh yeah,
because they're just scalped and gone through. Even though like my favorite thing to this day is finding other people's stashes. I'm just bad news like that. It's just like I
I
just
love
love
it.
I love finding other people's stashes. So that's usually the first thing I do is I do a quick scan and then I start looking behind everything. When I find somebody else's stash, man, it's bad how good I feel about it. I'm like, you snooze, you lose. You buy it or you don't. It's not yours. It's mine.
True.
You didn't pay for it, did you? No. So yeah, I still get a kick out of finding other people's stashes, but yeah, and I'll never forget. Like Nas was doing. I think it was Nas and his buddy Andre or whatever. They were doing those shelf flipping videos.
Shelf flippers. That's right.
Yeah, and so yeah, I started flipping some shelves just to like at Target because it was, and I found some old school stuff, man. I found this. I don't have it handy, but Speed Racer box set that was brand new from 2014 or something like that, and
nice.
and the handful of other cars that had nickel plated axles that were like their race cars, and these were all things that were brand new that never left the store from 2014 or 12 or whatever. So
That's crazy.
they were dusty and gross, but they were brand new. And the guy at the customer service was nice enough to sell them to me for what they were marked at back
Oh,
then.
that's awesome.
So he was like, I was like, well, what do you? I mean, he's like, I was like, I guarantee you, I found these under the shelf. I'm like, don't ask me why. I found him under there here, and I was like, I don't know what you want to charge him for these, but he's like, I guess I just got to charge you what's on them. I mean, he's like, I don't care, and I'm like, that sounds good to me. And I'm like looking around, hurry up, hurry up. Yeah, so it was that was cool, but I didn't find too much. I found some after that. I found Pokemon cards. I found Funkos, kind of the new version of the. But it's crazy to think that people were doing that back then. Like,
Yeah.
people were putting stuff under there back in like 12 or 14. Or, you know, they're super old.
Yeah, I think that
So
you, and what I noticed too is I sense when the stalkers are there. So the reason I don't film a lot of peg hunts, I probably film less than 20% of my actual what I'm out looking for diecast because there's some creepers out there and they'll follow you around the store or they'll look at what you're looking for. I've had people taking pictures over my shoulder as I'm looking at certain things and I feel like sometimes on here, the more that we talk about certain things, we're feeding the beast. We're feeding these people the guys that are looking for certain castings that like what's
yeah,
hot, what do I resell? What is this guy looking for, right?
yeah.
So sometimes I'll purposefully grab some Mario Kart stuff and put it in my basket, and
And
I'll
just
do
you got to throw them off. You got to say something. You go,
yeah.
oh
I'll be
yes,
like, there it is. There's the pink
yeah.
Pikachu car. I knew it
For
was
for
here.
me, it's zoom ins and wheelie chairs. I'm like, oh yes, and they're like, ooh, they're writing it down. They're like, and they've got them listed for $100 on Mercari or OfferUp or eBay or something. People are like,
Yeah.
what? No, you couldn't give me that card. I send them to people and they just throw them away or send them back to me. David at Twice Diecast has sent them back to me. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's really rude, David. I sent you that very valuable car. It's a chase piece. I
That's
can't.
awesome.
I can't believe you sent that back to me, man. He's like, oh, I'm sure there's somebody else out there that will appreciate it. I'm like, I doubt it. No more than me.
Yeah. I'm thinking about creating. Nas did this earlier this year, but he created his alter ego, and his name is Y'alls. So
Y'all.
he goes on and he says, I'm doing this hunt for y'alls, and I'm gonna find some chases for y'alls, right? So I think I might do an alter ego. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do with the channel this year, and I'll do nothing but find fantasies and start really promoting them as coveted vehicles that people should
Do
be
it.
out there looking for. I'll be like,
I'll feed the
oh,
fire.
it's the Twin Mill 3. Look at this thing. This thing is beautiful. Yeah, I
We
can't believe
need
I
to.
found one.
We need to do that. Like, I really want. I really want a zoom in premium made by Hot Wheels. I want like a premium wheelie chair and gotta go. I'd like to see a
Oh,
premium gotta go. Like RLC gotta go. Just
the cupcake car, or the new jelly one.
yeah. I want to see some of those made. Like some chase pieces that are just super undesirable cars that no one even wants. Because I'll be all over them.
I said, regift your zoom ins to Mark, please.
Yeah, regift. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks a lot. So yeah, that'd be funny, man. Like I want to make a. That's funny. Like alter ego, I want to make a scalper alter ego too.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be my scalper alter ego, and
They
I'll
can't.
post it on my channel, but it'll be fun.
That's the only way to really fire back on them. You're never going to stop scalpers, so you might as well just make fun of them and just like really just annihilate them, and just be like, "Oh yeah, this is sick, bro. Oh, this is sick." Oh
Uh,
yeah, I got to make a video of like the voice for like just oh gang on cab, oh. Like if you've seen those videos,
yeah.
like the new lingo that the kids have was just terrible, and oh sheesh. Oh sheesh, bro, that's so sick. So I just need to start like filming people that are like trying to get all this stuff and then just dub over them
Right.
with that work. Yeah, just write it down, man. Just do it. I mean, that's kind of where I want to go with the channel too. Is start making some more of the funnier stuff that I've done in the past, where it takes
I
a little
miss
bit more
those.
effort.
I miss those.
Yeah. So now that I'm doing it again, I just all you really need for YouTube is kind of what I'm figuring out is about one video a week to stay, you know, on the relevant factor, you know, where they don't just kick you off. So yeah, well, they don't kick you off, but you just like you don't go anywhere, you know. If you
Yeah,
stop posting stuff, you just kind of fall off, which is fine, you know.
and I don't. I want to find a happy medium between what you just said and the guys who are like, hey, I'm trying to hit the algorithm. I'm trying to post every day and I'm trying to be up every day. And here I am every day. And look at me walking through Walmart for the 26th time this week. And, you know, I don't want to be that person. I want to bring some comedy to it. And I want to have, you know, a little bit of flair. And every time I watch some of your older ones, some of the comedy ones, I laugh till I'm farting, which I just did. I got away with one, by the way.
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, we were talking before we got in. We were just like, see if people noticed when we fart, you know. So it's just, I've already farted 6 times. So yeah. But this, I've got a silencer, suppressor on my chair that just kind of. It's like, so I'm good. It's got like it's got baking soda in it too. So
nice.
I hope you guys didn't see any poofs of like baking powder or anything like that. Rico Bobby says somebody pooted. I'll tell you a funny story since we're talking about farts and poops and stuff like that, which is like it's never not funny because like that half the time when I'm on like Instagram looking at videos, those are what I'm sending my wife and my friends. So I'm just sending them like, you poop, fart. You know, like the guys that walk around and prank and like make the farts and stuff. It's never not funny to anybody. I don't know why farts are so funny. It's like a sound. But so I worked when I worked at Lexus years ago. I've worked there for almost 10 years, and there's a guy there, and he passed gas right outside the door to the entrance of the service department, and it was foul. And this guy walks in, and he's like, oh, let me get, like, he walks in right behind and gets the door. He's got his kid in his hand. And he goes, oh, looks like somebody's got a poopy diaper. And Sean's like,
classic.
Because it was that bad. But that one will never not be funny to me. It's just, there's something about bathroom humor.
I think the best one I've seen is on Step Brothers when they're interviewing together.
Yeah, they're just like, you couldn't hold it. I thought it was going to be silent.
He's like, yeah, I can taste it.
Yeah, is that ketchup? Mustard seeds? Anyways, yeah, getting a little off track there. But so what is your favorite diecast this year? Like, let's narrow it down to one car. What was this last year, 2022? I mean, it's not 2023 yet, but we're just about there.
Yeah. I did a top 10 list on my channel, and
yes, So go check out his your last. Is it your 2 videos ago, probably?
Yeah,
right?
a couple of videos back, and my number one, to nobody's surprise, I'm gonna grab it. It's right here. Is this one, and they could literally make this car in any color.
Oh yeah.
And they could.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was even came out. You know, I haven't been paying attention, properly.
So we got this as the then, and it got paired up with that one. So you got the then and now. But yeah, I would say this is probably my favorite casting, and I know there's a lot of people that are going to be like, oh, you're passing up all of those premiums and all of that. Look, when it's simple, when it looks good, that's what I like. I want a car that appeals to me. The Supra is in it's my bucket list, top 5 cars I'd love to have all time. And so, yeah, Hot Wheel you want to make money off me, Hot Wheels team, make this in every single color that you possibly can and put one in every case, and I will buy multiples of them because I bought multiples of this one. So for sure, this Toyota Supra.
So how many Mark IV Supras do you think you have in your collection?
I think this one probably makes 7.
So you have the the Fast and the Furious orange one.
I'm looking and I'm counting. That's 7. I do, and I don't count the ones that were before they were licensed. So for
Mm.
people who don't know,
There's some knockoff ones or whatever like that. Just that they don't
don't
say
sleep
Supra.
on it. So this is what the Supra was before it was called a Supra. So that's the Super Tsunami before they got the license from
Yep. Yeah, I
Toyota, but
think
it is a
I think I
Supra.
might have that one. Yeah, it just doesn't look. It just doesn't say Supra.
Yep, just doesn't say
It looks
Super
like
on
it.
it, but it's absolutely. And when you actually look at it compared to the casting, and I'll show everybody so that they realize what I'm talking about, they are nearly the same cast.
That's really
So
cool.
um, they get slept on, and but yeah, I think I have 7 now that are the actual um, licensed, including that beautiful one from Fast and the Furious. Which, by the way, yep,
Yeah.
yep, and that one's actually coming out re-released in a 5 pack this year. So we'll get the little Super back in a 5 pack Fast and Furious.
And then there was like a blue one that was kind of like multicolored, like almost like a graffiti type of deal. Do you have that one as well?
Have that one. Yep, I do have that one. I have the kind of green colored one. Um, there's a couple that I'm missing, and they're a little bit of the higher priced ones. The very first, what they consider the first edition. People want outrageous dollars for. It's kind of like finding your 510s. You're
Yeah.
probably down to the last handful of the ones that are in the multi-$100 range now.
Oh yeah, yeah, hundreds of dollars for some like the ones that I need. Yeah, it's I think all the pretty much all the 510s I need are just stupid. Like two, three, four, five, six, $700 for the ones that I need that I don't have. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
brutal.
tough when you get to that point, and I think as long as I can keep myself in the range of where I stay, I have a cap. I have a cap I won't go over, regardless of how bad I want to cast. And
What
so
is your cap?
my cap right now is 150. So regardless of
$150.
yep, as regardless of how bad I want it or how now I'll make an exception. There's some of the rare Japanese stuff like from the Japanese conventions I would break my limit for.
Hmm.
But
That's
that would
me.
probably be it.
You'd have to do it for like for the like the 510 Moon Eyes. There's
Yeah,
two of them. I don't know why Japan did us so dirty and made a right and a left, and then they did it again for I think the last convention car they did or something. They make a two sided. I mean that's to me
cash grab.
it's a cash grab, and you because the collectors they have to get both. They have to do it. They're not just going to buy one, and they're designed differently. They're different, And I was lucky enough to get Hewitt's to give me one and then build me another one for pennies on for what it cost to buy the real thing.
Yeah, for
Because the
sure.
real ones are about $700 for the pair at minimum. So they're about $350 a piece. The cheapest you'll find them is maybe $300 a piece,
Yeah.
and climbing. So
And that's the tough part is when you really start to get to the point of, hey, I'm focusing on a certain casting, like for you 510. For me, I'm I'm a sucker for any of the Datsuns, obviously. Any of the old Toyotas. I really wish there's some 70s eras like Celicas that they would start pushing out, especially. I was mentioning that to June also about starting to do some Celica stuff because I like to believe that he took my little prodding about building those 240s because I said you're doing all that 510 love. When are we going to see some 240s? And then within 6 months, the blue and the red 240s came out, and the fair
oh
ladies. I
yeah,
was like, oh. So I
yeah.
just keep. I think I bug him to the point where he doesn't want to hear from me anymore because I'm throwing out all these ideas. I'm like, hey, how about this one? And you guys should do that one. And he's probably like, man, I'm going to ban you from my email. But um, I really think that when you start to go down this is where I'm going to focus, you get yourself into that point where you're going to be down to the last 4, 5, 6 castings where you're going to have to pony up if you really want to be a completist and have them.
Yeah. So Xavier at Diecast Show Customs that we just had on the Diecast breakdown recently, has not come out yet, but keep your guys' eyes out for that. He says I'd rather replicate and make my own version, and he is very good at it. So one of the best, one of the best. And you probably saw the 510 that he just made me? I'm sure I posted it
Yeah,
everywhere.
it's beautiful. And the thing is, I'm in awe of these guys that can customize like that, and if I had that type of skill set, I think I would spend more time doing that. But I don't have the patience for it, and I've tried a couple of times, and I either explode the cars or they don't
Just
like.
blow up.
Well, so I did a. Let me grab this one. Hold on. So all I did was a wheel swap on this one, and it's a 510 also. But I took the
Nice.
wheels off of the Cruella de Vil car and had to cut them
Nice.
down, and they were the wheels I wanted for this because when I was in Japan and I saw a lot of the 510s there, they loved to make the 510s look like almost like classic Chevys, if that makes sense. So a lot of the real deep dish wheels.
Yeah.
Um, you would see them rolling on Dayton's in Japan, right? Dayton's on these 510s because this is
Sure.
their classic car, you
Yeah.
know. So I was really just trying to make it look that way, and it took me three of those. The first two that I tried cracking open, I blew one up. I blew the peg off of one. I had Nas giving me step by step instructions, like through like a video. I felt like I was 5 years old. Him trying to help me crack open the Hot Wheels and work with premiums and how to get wheels out of premiums. And it's these guys, I swear, like when I see these customs that they make and they're able to do the work that they do and the art that they do with these cars, it's simply amazing. And I'm all for that. If I had the skill set, I wouldn't go out and buy half of these cars. I just make my own.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is not for everybody. I think everybody can do some basic things like wheel swaps, and of course, that's the first place to start out is wheel swaps. Because once you get that down, then you go, oh, this is how the car goes apart. I can I can take the paint off of it, or I mean, just wheel swaps alone they're a lot of fun. It changes the whole look of the car.
Oh yeah.
So and then you get, I see Eddie in here, and so you get these kind of crazy things. Like this is probably one of my
Oh yeah.
favorite customs that I've ever gotten.
Eddie's stuff is next world, man. I swear
Yeah.
he's I every time he posts up new stuff, I'm looking at his stuff because he does stuff that I can't even figure out how he does half of the things that he does. He is like he's like a mad genius.
Yeah, hey, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, all you ladies, all you beautiful ladies out there. Welcome back to my channel. Yeah, Mark, you too. Anyways, back to the beautiful ladies. Welcome back. So, yeah, we love Eddie. He's laughing. He thinks that's funny. Yeah, so, yeah, for me this year with the channel, of course, it's hard to find time, but I'm going to try to find more time to post at least, one video a week if I can. And of course, we're trying to focus on the diecast breakdown, and an ungodly amount of effort goes into doing that. So I hope people realize how much effort goes into making those production videos because they're like full production videos. But we take pride in it, because I see a lot of other people try to do the same thing, and I think we're doing pretty good. I think we're working hard and getting some really cool, awesome people on the show.
I like that you guys, Mark, have differing perspectives too, and you're not afraid on when I watch those podcasts. I think with between you and David and just the way that the back and forths go sometimes, I like that you guys have sometimes differences of opinion on the way you guys see things, and
Oh,
it's
for sure.
it's refreshing to hear not everyone being in agreement all the time. Like, hey, this is what I like. Oh, I don't like that, or I don't like the way you do that, or I don't like the way they've done this. And I do like the fact that you guys aren't afraid to, you know, rub people a little bit the wrong way. The big boys, the big companies. I'm glad you're not trying to pander to them, and so I
No.
love watching those podcasts.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we love to. I mean, we're not trying to make it into I mean, it'd be awesome if someday we could do it for a living. Wouldn't that be the dream? Just to get up in the morning and put together a show. That would be amazing. But we do it for the collectors, the diehards, the people that that want to know what's coming out, and it's a connection between the collector and the people that are making the car and the people that are doing the custom cars that they're watching on the internet, and the people that are designing, like coloring books, Fireball, and the Diecast magazine, Tony and Carmen, which are doing really cool things. They're just really, really awesome people. So, yeah, the sky's the limit. We want to get Jay Leno on the show one of these days. We'd love to talk to him.
I think he would be down for it. I really do. I think that's not an unrealistic thing for you guys because he loves talking cars, and I think the fact that he now has this partnership with Mattel. I'm confident that's not the only run of cars we're going to see from Mattel featuring Jay Leno's Garage. So I think, if you guys come at him from that aspect, he's going to be happy to talk to you guys. I've just heard that, he's very personal when it comes to those types of things. And
sure,
that's where you get him. You get him is by talking cars with him,
Yeah, Sean Coral says Jay Leno on the show would be the best thing ever. He fell out of his chair. We Fireball knows him pretty well. Tony and Carmen, they got to go to his studio and interview him. They had some technical difficulties, but they were able to go visit him in person. So I think he's a very cool dude. The stories that I've heard from Fireball are he's the car guy's hero. He's a good dude, that helps people out, and he does his little series. I mean, I would love to get my 510 or GTR or something onto his show where he goes and drives your car, or goes along with you and rides with you and asks you questions about it. Man, that would be so cool.
I would be interested to know, Mark, how many of, especially your 510, there actually are left that you can find in the U.S. Because I know in Japan they're getting increasingly harder and harder to find there, just because a lot of them got chopped up. People don't realize that those cars
were rotted out.
Yeah, they just got chopped up because they weren't built well originally, and so people
best materials now for the body.
People trashed them rather than saving them. And so I would be interested to know that, maybe your car would be something he would be interested in featuring, just because I would say the 510 more so than the GTR.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you that he would be interested, but I mean, he's had at least one or two on already. He had a Sunny truck, a little Hako truck on there on his show, but he has a 510. So he has a 510 in his collection. I'll tell you that the value of the 510s definitely went up a bit when he showcased his 510. People took notice of it. So he's got a nice little, I believe it's like I forget what year, it might be a 68, 69 white, which are the most desirable. I think they're the most rare 510s are the first generation.
Which is what he targets typically, right? When he's buying cars, he's targeting the rare of the rare.
Yeah, so I think he's got a swapped engine in his and stuff too. I don't know, but I think we'd get along really well because I know he loves Datsuns and some of those old Japanese cars. He likes a lot of cars, but I know that like watching his videos where he's riding along in a Datsun or driving a Datsun, that he's got a big old smile on his face and he's pretty happy. So,
Mattel, I wonder what casting should we make for Jay Leno's Garage next that would be a cash grab?
Yeah, 510.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. Don't say it out loud. You just ruined it. We're going to have to go back and edit this out of there. And do like this. Okay, first and foremost, zoom in. Okay? Zoom in premium. Okay?
Yes. And,
second,
Twin Mill 4.
Twin Mill 4.
An updated Twin Mill, yes.
We're going to do a quadrimill. Okay? Quad mill. Yeah, so that would be, Jay's a cool guy. I've been on a Jay Leno kick lately watching his show on while I'm detailing cars. I've got a TV and headphones, like noise canceling headphones on while I'm detailing, and I've just been watching him go in different people's cars, and drive his own cars, like, Bugatti and some weird cars like Lamborghini. I think he's a McLaren guy. He doesn't he'll never. I think he said he never will buy a Ferrari because of their prestige. Their noses are up in the air. You have to
Yeah,
own this, 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 and this to own a Ferrari. And he's like, no, I can just go buy a McLaren. They'll deliver it to my house. They'll sit down with me for 4 hours and explain how everything works. They'll ride in it with me. So it's like, and he's like, I've never had any issues, and the car's beautiful, hand built.
yeah. I've
So
heard that about McLaren. I've also heard that about the customer service with Aston Martin too. That you get something similar to that. I think the British just know what they're doing when it comes to high end cars and how to handle their customer base. And it's you're and you worked at Lexus, and I've been into a
yeah,
Lexus. It's a different feel when you go into some of those brands. And I'm not comparing McLaren to Lexus, but there is a difference when you go
fit and
into a
finish
Lexus
is a big
dealership.
deal.
Yeah, everything is different in the way you're treated, and I really feel like with brands like McLaren, Aston Martin, you're getting that. You feel like, hey, you've been welcomed to a family now, and we're going to treat you like family, and you know,
Family.
family. Yeah.
Yeah, but Kimber and I, we're gonna start putting up family signs all over the house. Just family, just as many as we can get, and then just people will walk in. They go, "What? Why are there so many family,
I'll tell you what I want.
family?"
I want your Christmas Day shirt, the one with the meat cheese hanging out. That was.
Yeah. That thing makes me uncomfortable. Well, first off, it's not very comfortable to wear, but like when I look in the mirror, like I saw a photo, I'm like, yikes!
It was, yeah. I chuckled when I saw that one. I was like,
I definitely had a lot of
yep.
people doing a double take on that one. They were like, "Oh my gosh, I thought that was like the real deal. Like the man boobs are like hanging out up top and everything."
It was
And it's just,
gorgeous.
yeah, it's a gorgeous shirt. And then on the back there's a tear, and then it has hair. Like it looks legitimately like there's so it like it adds to the whole. And of course it's like tight on me, so it matches my skin tone. Super pasty white.
Oh, Sean,
So
Sean Coral, see what you just did? You just gave Hot Wheel their entire. They're writing that down, and they're going to put it into production now. 64 Honda S600, you say?
oh yes.
Hmm.
Oh who's hoping Hot Wheels McLaren Solus GT?
I'll take one of those.
Yeah. I would take one of those. I was told that I could my stapler. Yeah. So all right, let's see. So I had a question for you. What's your? I remember your channel is named after. It's not like Super Treasure Hunt. It's like Supercars,
Yeah.
JDM, and
Yep.
Diecast. And
Yep.
your son is pretty much the supercar guy. Like he loves supercars. Is that
Oh
correct?
yeah. So what happened is when we were developing the name for the channel, he wanted it to be called Supercars Diecast because he loves the supercars. So anything Bugatti, all of the high end, the Koenigseggs, any of those cars like that. And I've always been the JDM guy, so I compromised and we just mashed together. And I had a
Yeah.
lot of people asking me that up front. They're like, "So you're only into super treasure hunts? Is that what it's all about?" But my son came up with the name and it stuck, and so we went with it. I ran it by Jason too. I was actually talking to Jason at Mustang Hunter before I launched, and he goes, "Yeah," he goes, "I like it. It flows. I don't get that impression." And he goes, "You do you." And he's the one who designed my logo for me and got everything up and
Yeah.
running, and very much appreciated. If people don't know, Mark did my a lot of my hunt video music. That's from Mark, so he's got that. So you get a little touch of that. And if you listen closely, he does a little drop in the very beginning, and I leave that in some of the videos. It's a little Easter egg. So
uh,
you guys got to turn it up. You'll hear it.
oh, I gotta play it for people really quick here. I think I should
Mark
be able to find it here.
McHotwheel
let
Productions.
me let me find it really quick here. Oh man, I don't know where. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Let's
But
add
that's my
music.
Easter egg.
I have it labeled Super JDM here.
There it is.
Yeah, Mark McHotwheel. I put that as my outro sometimes. I'm
No,
like,
it's a good it's a good beat, and it's become kind of like my undertone. A good buddy of mine, I have a different one that runs now. He's a DJ, and he made me a new one. and so I move them back and forth when I'm doing it.
Yeah,
But
hey man, you use whatever you want to use. You can use mine. You can use whoever's. I'm gonna be like, hey man, why aren't you playing my song anymore in the background? This copyright strike. Can't talk. Uh, so I made Rapid Nismo. Aaron, he uses mine. I made one for him specifically, and gosh, I've done it for a couple other people.
I am loving his channel. Like every time he posts, man,
The energy,
he
man.
he
Nobody
is
brings the energy like
nope.
Rapid Nismo.
He is passionate and he's ready to go.
Yeah, we'll have him back on the diecast breakdown soonish. I would imagine we'll have him on at least once this 2023. It's a lot. You have to psych yourself up for it. You have to really get ready. I missed the last one. I was like, I think I was sick or something, and I didn't make the last one where he was on there. But I think it was just him and gosh, maybe it was just him and David or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start kicking back to Mark when I, when I start making my $12 a day on my channel.
Yeah, I get
Um,
12 cents of that, 10%.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll be rich in no time. Yeah, no, I need to start making a little bit more beats too, or find somebody that can help me with those because here's one of the most frustrating things about YouTube, and there's many, but and we can talk about YouTube for a little bit if you want, but um, you put something out like a year ago, I get copyright flagged like a year later when it was a royalty free, copyright free music, but and if it becomes copyrighted eventually they'll kick you off for it and they'll demonetize that video. So it's very frustrating because you have to go back and replace the music with something else. So I don't even care
Right.
anymore. When something gets flagged, I go, whatever. Like I don't
Yep.
care.
I leave it, and sometimes I do it purposefully. I put copyrighted stuff on there because it might just be something I want to show, and I'm not trying to monetize it anyway. So
Yeah, keep in mind if you want something to kind of reach the masses, it will get tanked because of the copyright. I've found that with at least my shorts, when it has when it gets copyrighted, it gets nowhere. It gets sometimes it gets 5 views, 10 views, 20 views,
yeah, they put
and
it
then
in. They
if
put
it's
it in banishment.
yeah, which is terrible because it's like if you put the name or the title, they should be happy. It's free advertising. Like, what song is that? Like, where do I find it? They can click on a link or whatever. But when we do some of our videos for detailing, and we go to Facebook, and their music's terrible on there. It's the worst.
Yeah,
So it's like, and you're like, no, I don't
don't
want
do
this.
that.
Yeah, just stop.
I
Yeah,
feel like
but
I feel like I'm in a '70s theater with the triple X on the top.
it's like the theme to Seinfeld. It's like, you're like, no,
Yeah,
stop. So yeah, it's frustrating, but I think the best advice for people that want to start their own channel, and quick shout out to Bunker's Diecast channel, Eddie G over there for starting his channel this last year and killing it. He's growing, the energy's there, positivity is off the charts. He's following me on every account and liking everything that I've ever posted. So, Sean Coral, Dane Self, those kind of people um, are really keep you going. It's good to have those.
yeah. And
It
Dane
becomes a
watches
quality, not
mine
quantity.
too, and I love it. And it's always positive. I always get really positive feedback, and even when I don't get positive feedback, sometimes it's constructive feedback, and that's what I look for. Is like, how can I do things better, or what am I not doing right? So I really try to listen to what people are saying too, because that's important. Because if you're just ignoring it and saying, "Well, I'm going to do it my way, and I don't care what you tell me," then you know, I think to me, it's as long as it's fun and people are liking it, I'll keep doing it. The minute it stops becoming fun and I feel like I'm having to do this or it's a chore, I'm not going to do it
Yeah,
anymore, because I definitely
yeah.
don't need to be doing it. I do it because it's a way to kind of share with the community and coming over from a little more negative community on the GI Joe side, which you don't ever go into that dark hole. Um,
GI Joe guys. Ruthless.
They are ruthless, and if you think scalping is bad in the Hot Wheels community, you have no idea. But yeah, so this year I really want to, like I said, I'm going to create my
Ow, in your
alter
face.
ego. Yeah, I'm going to create my alter ego, which I'll post it up. It will be my scalper alter ego, and I'll get out there and make that happen. But I definitely want to I want to spotlight too, because I had people like you, people like Jason, people like King Nut, Derek. They really helped me when my channel first started too and got me going. So um, I'm actually, it's only taken a year, but I'm about to launch my sticker. So I'll make sure you get one sent up so that
Yeah.
you have one of my little stickers to come up to you. And yeah,
Yeah, it's like it's similar. Your sticker is kind of like my logo for my business. So because it's kind of my logo's JDM and X is inspired, auto peak detailing. It's
I
got
know, I
the
love it.
mountain and the rising sun. So a lot of people don't really get that. It goes right over their head, but it's a cool design.
Yeah, I
Makes
love
for a
it.
good T-shirt, good hat.
Yep.
So yeah. So um, you got a little bit more time to talk, or you stretched for time, or?
Yeah, I got probably another 10.
Okay, sweet. Don't want to take up too much of your time, but let's see here. What else? So going forward to next year, is there anything that you've seen coming out that you're really interested in when it comes to just diecast in general? We don't have to talk about Hot Wheels, but I'm sure you've seen some of the Kaido House
Oh,
stuff that
uh,
you're jonesing after, the R34s.
yeah. So I definitely told you I'm stuck in June, and
Yeah,
I everything Kaido that comes out, I have to really tell myself you can't have all of it, because
yeah,
I literally want to buy every single thing that they put out. But yeah, I'm watching a lot of the mini GT and Tomiko. If you're sleeping on Tomiko, don't sleep on Tomiko either.
the
Those
premiums.
guys, the premium Tomikos, yeah,
Yeah,
they are beautiful. They're on par with some of the mini GT
beautiful.
stuff. Yeah, they're beautiful. And then Tarmac Works.
Oh
Tarmac Works
yeah,
is another one I'm really. David actually, when he started talking about Tarmac Works, and I'm like, let me see what he's talking about over here. And then I started getting into Tarmac Works, and that's definitely a rabbit hole you want to go down, because they make some awesome stuff too. And what I love about Tarmac Works and what I love about Kato is they force you to take stuff out of the box. You can't just display their things and
oh
say,
yeah.
"Oh, here it is," unless you just want a picture of a car on a box. And so, and that's another goal of mine this year too. Is I'm going to start taking a lot more things out of the box and getting them out and displayed that way, because these things were meant to be out. They weren't meant to be hiding behind a 3-cent plastic blister. They need to come
Sure.
out. And so, my goal is I'm going to crack a couple supers this year. The ones that I just really want to have in hand, and because I love the paint on them. So I'll,
Yeah.
I'll show that live and get that going. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm going this year. Is I'm looking at anything Kaido and
Crack it
anything.
open.
Yep, and I'm going to do some cracking. So
Yeah, that's. I just cracked a super a couple days back. The
yeah,
gasser. It was
I saw
Kimber's
that.
first super, and she's like, I was like, "Can I crack this?" And she's like, "Yeah, I don't care." But she wanted to keep it though. I was like talking about like, should we give this away? Or she's like, no. She's like, we found it on our honeymoon. I'm like, we get found a bunch of other diecast too. So it's like, I'll keep it. I'll keep it.
It's something about the first super.
Yeah, it's her first super, so we'll keep it. We'll put it up, and definitely don't want to get rid of that one. But I've got some other ones I might crack. I've got a Tesla Model S is my first super that I found, and believe it or not, I found it just sitting on a shelf. Like somebody had taken it, looked at it, and set it down.
Oh,
And yeah, it was sitting at Fred Meyer. It was just like right in front of me. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
that's the
Like
best.
somebody just like grabbed it, looked at it, and set it down. Like they had no idea what it was. And I was
That's
just
what
like,
happened.
yoink!
Yeah, that's what happened with the Mazda from last year, the RX-3. So I don't think people recognize that it even was a
No,
super.
no, it's that one made me angry.
Yeah,
I don't know if you heard me talk about that one, but I'm pretty sure I passed one up, and somebody told me in a video. Like they gave me the timestamp of where I missed it, and I was like, oh well. Like if I
yeah.
can't tell it's a super, then it's not a super.
It was a tough one, and when I grabbed it, I looked at it. I was like, well, I want this model anyways because it's a JDM, so I'm going to grab it anyways. And it took me getting home and actually looking at it closer, and I'm like, I found a super. So that was my first or second. Yeah, but love it.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
I'll
I
crack that
found.
one.
You cracked it?
I think I'm going to crack that one. That'll be the one I crack because it's the one I found first. It's going to be. You can't appreciate that white spectra flame until you have it out of the package because behind that blister, it looks dull. So I'm going to crack it. I
Well,
mean, I'll crack it.
I think both of us should crack something on camera. I don't know what I'll crack, but you got to find something to crack. That's how we'll finish the show off here.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I got something I can crack. I'm going to get some angry people on this one.
Oh, good. I think I know what I'll crack.
Here we go.
Do
These are a little pricey too.
Oh, what is that, a Civic?
That's the first edition.
Oh, yeah. Let's make people angry.
Let's crack it. And that's a blue card.
Big A, Adrian's in the house.
All right. It's coming out. There it is.
I don't think anybody will get angry like that's in here now. Maybe somebody that watches this later on.
Yeah. They're going to be like, no.
Let's see.
I don't know. Is that a good enough crack or should I make it something more appealing?
Get it out. Let it breathe. People are like, get it, hurry up, get it out.
Yep, here it goes. It's coming out. Hasn't seen any air in 19 years.
Wow.
There it goes. It's free. Well.
Oh, it's broken. You just broke it. Broken.
There it is. It's free at last. It's a beaut. And it needed to come out.
Xavier says, was the baking powder coming out of that seat? That'll be our inside joke. Just, is that baking powder puffing up in the air? What's up with that?
That's awesome.
Oh, man. I kind of... I don't know if I could do this one. This is my first diecast I've ever had. I found it online. And it was in the cart. I have one that's out, my childhood one, and this is a...
That one I would be screaming if I popped that one open, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that yet. I'll sleep on that. Let's see here. I got some 510s here. I got a bag of goodies. Let's see what we got here that'll upset people. Let's see what we got. Ooh, that's a 2-pack. Okay. Ooh, we got a 510 Zamac.
Do it.
Oh no, that's a factory sealed 2017 set. Can't do that.
I had a Zamac sitting here too. My Chiron.
Oh gosh, people, the Japanese store. I already have one.
Attacks.
Yeah, Mark, Hot Wheels for life. Oh no! So Mark says, Mark, if you can crack the vintage racing 510. Yeah, he gave that to me. That was like a $400 car. He's like, unsub. Let's do this one. Yeah, I don't think I have one of these out. This 2020 Skyline van.
Oh yeah, that one's got to come out.
That's a collector's edition.
I cracked that one.
Okay, let's crack that one. I've even got it in a protector case, so we can use this for something else.
And I will tell you too, wait until you get it out of there and see that color in hand.
Alright, let's do it. Let's see here.
That's the color they need to do 90% of the supers in.
Yeah, you know what? Some of these cars, you have to get them out of the case to see the colors and everything of them.
Oh yeah.
So that's definitely one of them. And then I have this one that's just got a custom card to it. It's this is a mystery pack custom. All right, I'm gonna at least be gentle with this one, not like I normally am, where I'm just like. So let's see. Let's crack this one open. So Mark, you can crack it. I'll send another. Okay, then we'll get really aggressive. Baking powder everywhere.
I just had a few baking powders of my own.
It's like the room you can't even see in there. It's just powdery. What's going on in there, man? So much powder in your room. All right. Ooh, look at you.
Now you see that color? That color is perfect.
I'm showing you guys before I actually even take a look at it. Oh, would you just look at it, sir?
Look at it.
Look at it, sir! And like that's funny because that video is like there would be a car like this, like an old wagon. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's
that
gorgeous,
paint job's
man.
really beautiful. Does this door does not open? It makes you want to think it does because the window's down. You're like, does it open?
Yep, I do that every time I see the 510 wagons. I want to open the doors because they did a really good cut job on those. So, yeah.
She's a beaut. Paint is really shiny.
Yeah, I love that. I love that paint on that one.
Gosh, you know what I want to crack one of these days if I get another one is the super treasure hunt 510 signed by June Mai. This one is, so this one's not getting cracked. That would be terrible.
Yeah,
but I'd like to get
that.
Yeah, I want to get one that's already loose, but they're $250 loose.
Yeah,
it's crazy for a loose car.
For what's basically, I think when I asked, I don't know how accurate the answer was, but their production cost for Hot Wheels is about 38 cents, and so you run up the cost of what are the real riders, probably another 6 cents, so 40 cents, 44 cents. So yeah. You're paying $200 for a 44-cent product, but yeah, it is obscene. I agree.
Yeah, it's obscene. I think that car, if I was to try to sell it, it would go for $500 to $700 pretty easily. I think five would be, but it's like
especially signed by June. Oh
yeah, but yeah, I definitely love that I have one that's signed by June, and hopefully I can get some Kaido House ones signed by him too eventually. I don't know if he's going to be at the Diecast convention in Las Vegas in a couple months, but we're going.
I hope so, because we're planning to go this time too. I missed it this last year. We were actually going to go. What I will tell you though, Mark, is do not stay at the hotel that hosts it.
Why? I think we already bought tickets.
It's okay if you did and you're going to stay there, but consider alternative lodges. When you get there, there's a funky smell to the plaza that baking powder won't take care of. So, but and the way that they do it too, and the days that they do it, sometimes you can actually find other lodging close to there that's still, like, if you stay at the Stratosphere even, which is right up the street from the Fremont Experience, it's like $28 a night or some crazy amount. But yeah. Or you can just have the beautiful plaza experience, and then you can tell your friends all about it.
Is it just really dumpy?
Well, here's the bonus, right? It's an older hotel, and you're at the Fremont, so you're right there. You and Kimber can zip line together right out of your hotel rooms and zip on down the street, which is fun. Yeah, but you know what? I think you need to experience it and have the pleasure of staying in the plaza and enjoying it. But
I'm definitely going to be filming it, so or whatever, videoing it. There's no film anymore.
If I see you walking around and you're like, yeah, but you at least get the experience of all of the different rooms too that they'll be doing. People bringing their boxes and boxes of scalped items to sell at.
I'm not going to be buying any of that stuff, but I will need if you go, we'll definitely meet up. I'm going to meet up with David at Twice Diecast and Chuck or Flying Valiant, and Derek will be there.
Oh, nice.
This year. So, and then whoever else, I don't know who else is coming, but I'm kind of just figuring out who's coming. But yeah, it would be nice if June was there and be able to meet him and maybe we can do a little impromptu interview with him. I don't know.
That would be
I'd like
awesome.
I'd like to bring some. We don't we plan on next year. We plan on having a booth. Yeah, it's in Vegas, but we plan on having a booth next year and diecast breakdown because it came up too quick on us this year,
Yeah.
and hopefully by next year we'll have a larger following and more people will know who we are. And if they don't, it'll be a good place to tell people who we are and show them our show. You
I
know.
would love for you guys to come down and get press credentials and come down to the San Diego Comic Con too. That would be that would be awesome. You guys could come down there and you could podcast from the floor,
Yeah.
which would be great.
Yeah, we're open to anything, and any chance that we can kind of get together too, because we're all in very different places. Chuck's in Florida. I think David's in Alabama, I think now, and I'm in Washington. So they're like 2 and 3 hours difference than me. So that's definitely a really tricky thing too when we do the show.
Yeah. Trying to plan
We're
around
way
everybody's
off.
timing.
Yeah, and then we video, do video podcasts from people in the UK and all kinds of different countries. So
Yeah,
it
that's
gets a little
awesome.
tricky, but we make it work. We make it work. So yeah, I think we'll wrap it up here. I think we're almost at 2 hours here.
Whew,
That's
flew by.
That flew by. I think that's about how long. I think we went a couple hours last time you came on. So, yeah, I appreciate it for everyone. That's I'll let you kind of plug all your channels and everything. But for anyone in here that's not following Shane, you can where can everybody find you? Where are you on the social medias?
Yeah, so you can find me Super JDM Diecast on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, same thing. My channel name is up there, and please stop by and say hi. And I love getting messages from people, and any of these little collabs. I love coming on with Mark, but if anybody else likes to do this and just wants to talk shop, I'm down to do that anytime. So yeah, hit me up.
Yeah, awesome. And so you use Instagram, Facebook too? No, probably just your personal one. I don't have a
Yeah, just I don't
I
have
don't
the
have a
Facebook.
Thoughts of
Yeah.
Man Facebook because
Yeah, and I've
one
stayed
of
away from some of the other Twitter and Snapchat, and
yeah.
you know I might do a TikTok just to have a TikTok one up just to do some funny stuff with the alter ego. But yeah, look for that maybe in the future. But definitely keeping the presence on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram's fun. There's it's totally different, from Instagram to YouTube, and it's funny to see the kind of the divide. Sometimes you have different types of people on YouTube than you do on Instagram,
Yeah,
and it's nice to pair the two together. I did get on Twitter recently just because it's changed hands and it's better now. Whatever people think, it's just more free and I actually, there's a lot of diecast people on Twitter, so the only reason went on there is just for Dots of Man Diecast to post stuff occasionally, and just to kind of find other channels or people from around the world, a lot of Japanese stuff, so I can see new Tomica stuff, and so it's kind of cool. I don't get on there very often. I'll post something every few days, but it's kind of cool, Twitter,
nice.
Reddit. David's real big into Reddit, so he likes that because you can find some articles and stuff like that on there. So, and then, how about are you on Discord at all, or?
No, I'm not, and that's just because what I also have to consider too how much presence I have because I am a teacher, and
Hmm.
so I have a lot of my younger guys, the teenagers, they're on Discord, they're on TikTok, so I have to kind of keep that part of my life separate too, just in case I don't know if I'm talking about fart jokes on my channel or something like
Yeah,
that. So
just get tucked away in my live videos. Just leave the
yeah,
fart jokes for that.
there you go.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming on, and it was nice talking shop with you, and just JDM, cars, farts, drinking soda,
Yeah,
all
well, hey,
that
I'll
cool stuff.
I'll definitely keep in touch with you about the convention. I'd love to
Yeah,
to link up with you guys up there, and yeah, that would be fun.
awesome. Well, I appreciate it, and everyone that tuned in tonight, I appreciate you guys stopping by, saying hi, giving us constructive feedback, and it looks like Scale Enthusiasm just followed you, and Subi Diecast just got you on the Instagram, so he got you a couple more people, and
Love
I'm
it.
sure people will watch this again. So, and if they don't, whatever, who cares? Yeah. So, all right, Shan, you have a great night, and
You as well, brother.
we will talk to you later, man.
All right, man. Take care, guys.
All right, bye.